Good morning, Madeleine.
Good morning. It's so good to see you, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, I really look forward to speaking to you about this subject. I met you in a communication with nature a retreat from P. Horsley, and well, we had a connection. And a while ago, we had the idea to do this interview with you. I will introduce you to the people who don't know you. You are Madeleine Walker. Do I pronounce it right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yep,
Madeleine Walker. You're from England?
yes,
Yeah. And you are an animal communicator. You are able to communicate with animals.
yes. On many different dimensions and levels,
Yeah,
which has been quite a journey, really, of a vertical learning journey.
yeah, great. So I would like to learn and hear and listen to you about that. You also work as a spiritual empowerment coach, and you help people. I guess you help people to live their spiritual power, the true power, power that lies within the heart and within the soul and wants to be expressed in the world.
Yeah, but nearly always with the help of the animals, either their own animals or spirit animals or animal
Great.
guides that come in. It's
Yeah.
always advice and wisdom from the animals, which is wonderful.
Great, great. And you have written books about the subject. You really inspire people to commune and to remember their connection with all these layers of connection with the animal world. Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
And it's always I perform what are called heart-to-heart sessions, where it's very much creating a co-creating a sacred heart space, and I just love doing that. And the animals
Wow.
are mind-blowingly amazing.
Wow. 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 Great. Let's dive in. So you commune with the animals and with all different kinds of animals. And we all know that our pets have got more to tell us than just being our pet. And how did this all start with you? Were you very sensitive as a child? Were you open for this already as a child? That you knew that there was a way to communicate with these animals? Or how did this begin?
Well, I've always been obsessed with animals. I found connecting and communicating with animals much easier than with humans. I preferred the company of animals when I was little.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a story where when I was about 4 years old, my parents were going to take me to the circus the next day. And the night before, I had this vision of an elephant driving a car with a silly hat on. And I said to my father, "Oh, there's going to be an elephant driving a car with a hat on." He said, "No, no, elephants don't drive cars, darling. No, there won't be an elephant driving a car." I said, "Yes, there will," because I had such a clear vision. So we went to this awful circus, and we were sitting in the front row. And the very first thing that came into the arena was an elephant driving a car with this stupid hat on. And I went to my father, "I told you so." And he looked at me, "Who is this child? What is this child?" So he took a photograph as kind of proof of my vision, if you like. And I think from then on, I was always very sensitive, but tried to fit in at school because I didn't feel like normal, whatever normal is. So if I had problems at school, I would always come home and seek comfort with the animals, really. And I would tell the animals all my problems. And yeah, and then about 20 years ago, I visited a friend who had this new puppy, and I had been married to a very scientific veterinarian who didn't believe in anything remotely complementary or alternative, which is why we're not together anymore. But anyway, it was very cold, and I'd been seeing my friend's horses, and I came into the kitchen, and she had a new Jack Russell puppy. So I said, "Ooh, can I have a cuddle?" So he was lying on his back on my lap, and he just looked at me with very intensely and said, "I'm a reincarnation of my friend Lee, of Lee's old dog, and I've come back to help her at this time." And I went, "Whoa, what's in this mug of tea?" So I put him down because I was really shocked, because I knew it wasn't my voice. I knew it was coming from this puppy. So then he went and sat next to her big farmhouse cooker, and his little Jack Russell face started to change into that of a border collie with very specific spots on the muzzle. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I think I've really lost the plot now. And then morphed back into the little Jack Russell face. And I thought, oh, what's going on? And so I didn't have the courage to say to my friend, did you used to have a border collie? I just said, have you had a dog before? And she said, oh, well, not for years. I said, what did you have? What kind of dog did you have? And she said, it was a border collie called Briar. Oh my goodness. So I said, do you have a photograph of Briar? And she said, oh, I'll find one. Why do you ask? Why? And I said, well, you're going to think I'm crazy, but your little puppy, Sam, has just told me he's a reincarnation of Briar, and he's shown me what she looked like. And I've been open to human incarnation. That wasn't a strange concept for me, but I hadn't really made the connection that our animals can reincarnate with us through many lifetimes in many different forms, not necessarily in their current animal form, like a dog or a cat or a horse or whatever. So anyway, Lee showed me the photograph, and it was exactly the spots on the muzzle, exactly like this puppy had shown me. Wow. And so from then on, like I said, it's been a vertical learning curve, because they've taught me so much about our past life connections and why they come back to us to support us in our life's journeys, but also to heal and resolve some of any trauma that may have happened in a past life. So they would show me kind of like a past life trauma. And then a horse told me how we could heal. We could rewrite the story. We could create a whole new dimension or timeline where that
I would like to go into that a little bit more later on. I would like to ask you, is it more often that the animals come back to help us, guide us, or is there also sometimes, well, you already say it a little bit, but is there also something like a question from them, like something that is needed from them to be resolved, or is it more often that they come back to guide us?
It's both, really. Yeah, it's a healing for both, because as we know, we can store trauma in our DNA from past lives. So the animals come back to sometimes trigger that memory, or they can behave in a certain way where their human companions ask me to come and help because their animal is being really badly behaved or has some physical problem, which can also mirror the human physical health issue. They can be like mirrors. And so when we look into the past life trauma, we can find where it began. We would say the root cause of an emotional trauma or a physical trauma, or both. And it's just incredible that they can show me these images. Sometimes it's not nice at all, because horses have shown me horrible battles in war, where they've shown me where obviously it's been horrible for the horses. And I kind of asked, why am I being shown this? This is horrible. But they said because many horses are reincarnating to heal man's need to create war on the fellow man. And these horses that were war horses that had carried us into battle are coming back again to heal some of that energy. Obviously, there's still wars going on, but these horses, the horse consciousness, has taken on this role of being our kind of war machines, if you like, through millennia. You know, we've ridden horses into battle for eons, and so they are the perfect animal to come back to try and heal that, to kind of lift the vibration of this war kind of consciousness. So that's another amazing role that these animals have committed to help us in many lifetimes. And I do believe that we have soul family, and our animals are members of our soul family, just as important as any of our human soul family, and that we have these soul contract meetings. A cat taught me how we could go back to our pre-birth soul contract meeting and write new contracts to change what we may have chosen.
Wow. You're telling so much. Okay. So,
sorry, I'll stop.
No, I like it, but I want to, so as a human, it's a very normal concept for me that we have a family, we have a soul family. and we meet each other in this lifetime. I feel that there's some who belong to the inner core or something like that, and also a group that you need to meet to develop some stuff you want to experience in this life. And I also feel with my dog now, and also with my last dog, I'm sure that there is a very deep and strong connection. But I also sometimes somehow feel that they are part of a clan of animal spirits. And of course there are relations, but the way you say it now is like, no, that's not really separate. It's more intertwined than we think. So animal human connections are more intertwined than, okay, here's the human, there's the animal. So also the animals that you meet in this life somehow belong to your soul group.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
one thing. And then the other thing, the rewriting, because that's very intense. So I would like to hear about it. Why would you do that? And what's that good for? But first,
yeah, well, like I said, it can resolve so many different issues, physically and emotionally, when you go back to a trauma. Like I said, I was visiting a client's horse, and this horse was just a nervous wreck and was incredibly jealous of her other horses, would be really vicious. And she just said, can you please come and see what this horse wants me to understand? And then the horse showed me a past life where the other horses that belong to, or part of this kind of stable and belong to this human, were also in this past life. And it showed me this kind of movie clip of a situation where this human was like a gold prospector, was like a gold miner, but had the horses were their pack animals carrying the equipment, and that this horse was the last on the kind of lead of horses, and a mountain lion attacked them and jumped on this horse that was showing all these problems in this lifetime and broke the horse's back. And all the other horses were so terrified, they all ran away and left this poor horse to be killed by the mountain lion. And I mean, right, okay. And then the horse said to me, well, can't we have a happy ending? Can't we change the story? And I'm going, well, yes. How would we do that? And the horse said to me telepathically, I will show you. I went, okay. So we went back to that situation where all the horses were being led, and the front horse was being ridden by the human. And it was amazing because I was describing or explaining to this lady what the horse had shown me. And then she could see herself as this man. She could describe, before I explained what I was being shown by the horse, what she looked like, that she had, what clothes she was wearing. She had this big beard. She was a really grizzly old kind of prospector guy. And but this time it was as though she was suddenly aware of the mountain lion, and she fired a shot. She didn't kill the mountain lion, but she scared the mountain lion away. And then all the horses were safe. And then I asked her to visualize, if she was in a movie, how she would create a much nicer script. And so I would say, right, so you're the actor, these are your horses. If you were going to say camera action, what would you do? And so she described that she would fire the shot, she would scare the mountain lion. And I said, right, go forward where you take the horses somewhere safe and you live out a safe life. And all the horses have a kind of a normal lifespan. Okay, they're work horses, they're pack horses, but they're all safe. And I thought, I have no idea how that might help or work, but the next day, or next evening, I was having a meal with a friend, and a lady came up to me and said, what did you do to those horses? And I went, excuse me? And apparently she was the owner of these stables, and the horse had previously been so jealous and so angry that it had been breaking some of the stable. It'd been kicking and just really angry. And she said that this horse is completely different. It's completely calm. its eyes, because it was like its eyes were on like red alert. Its eyes are soft and calm, and it has no problem with the other horses. It's not jealous anymore. But when we were changing the story, what was also amazing, not only that the lady could describe what she looked like in that past life, because she was also somehow picking up the pictures that this horse was transmitting, but she said that she felt a huge weight being lifted from her chest and from her heart that she didn't even know she was carrying until we changed the story.
Wow.
And her whole relationship with the horses was completely different after that. So it's so powerful and it's so intense that it can have this real profound change and shift in the relationships we have with our animals, but also with ourselves.
Yeah.
So that was the first kind of past life rewrite. And then from then on, I would be shown the stories, and then I would be given the information as to, with working with the human and the animal, as to, okay, so how can we make this different? How can we create a new story?
Yeah.
And I know that sort of psychotherapists do a similar thing in life rescripting. But I had never studied psychology. This was always from the horses. So many of the techniques I use with humans are all gifted to me by the animals. And I think that makes it very powerful.
Wow. What a gift, huh? What a gift.
Yeah, it's sometimes not very pleasant, but when you can resolve something and heal it in such a deep way, then it's so rewarding, and it's really mind-blowing.
So it's really it's a gift in so many ways, because of course this is a very deep and profound healing gift that they offer and that you offer through them or with them. But also if you open up to this, it changes the perspective on animals. So
Absolutely.
yeah, a cow is not just a cow, a horse is not just a horse, a chicken is not just a chicken. Well, it is a chicken, but it has a story. It has a soul, it has a spirit, it wants to commune, it wants to dance with us, I assume. And if we tune in now to the animal spirit, if you tune in, and we discussed this a little bit, like we humans are here somehow to learn and to relearn how to commune with the earth and the plants and the trees and the beautiful animals. And we've somehow lost that connection, through the ages. We are refinding it. What do you feel that the animals would like to express to us at this moment about this?
Yeah, well, I'm getting two different species. I mean, I always say, from a housefly to a humpback whale, all animals have a voice. They all have a message for us if we are open to listen.
You know that already this is great. For you it is so normal. But if you've never heard this, I want to repeat it because it's so strong. From a housefly to the biggest whale in the ocean, every animal has a voice and wants to express something. It's amazing.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the fly. People think, oh, a pesky fly. And I was sitting in the garden, and this was years and years ago now, and this fly landed on my arm, and it was tickling. So I wasn't going to hurt it, but it was tickling. So I was going to go, well, just stop tickling me. And then I just stopped in mid kind of brushing it off, because it was like it was stomping around and really with all its eyes kind of looking at me. And I went, oh, hello. And it said to me, you have such a big heart for everyone and everything else, but why don't you let yourself in? I went, oh, that's pretty accurate, actually.
From a fly.
From a fly,
Who would have thought?
I know, exactly. And I went, okay. And when it was stomping around a bit more, and then it said, right, you heard me? You got that? I went, yes, thank you. And then it just flew off. And I was left thinking, oh my God, this is from a fly. And I've had several messages from flies since then. And and if you've got flies that are buzzing around in your house and perhaps being a bit of a nuisance, then you can open a window and just ask them to leave. And most times they will just leave. So they hear you. You know, this amazing interspecies communication that we can have with all life, really. You know, and it's just remembering that we can also all do it. We've, like you say, we've just become disconnected. But going back to messages, I'm feeling the lions. I love to work with lions. I adore lions, and also buffalo, like American bison. I felt like them coming in, and the lions talk about humankind without subjugation. So
Without?
subjugation, and I wasn't. That's not a word I would normally use. But to be subjugated means to become like a servant, to be compressed, to be like, yeah, like ruled over kind of thing. So it's about standing in your sovereignty, standing in your sovereign power, to be all that you are, to reclaim your lion heart, to be totally in your authentic true self. So the lions are reminding me to share that be in your sovereignty. It's all about being lion-hearted, and it's about us remembering to feel our lion hearts, to really work with the animals, to help them help us, and ultimately help the planet. So it's all about really honoring Mother Earth and all life upon Mother Earth. And the lions are really great at reminding us to find our lion heart, to be in our lion power. But the buffalo that I'm feeling now, their message is about also freedom, about running free, about really not allowing anyone or anything or any situation to take us of our power, of our sovereignty, because the bison, the buffalo, is all about running free, rewilding, connecting with the wild. And I really feel them coming in now, just reminding me to tell this, because it's so important. And just before, not to get into anything negative, but just before the pandemic happened, I was out in Rwanda with gorillas, and this big silverback was saying about how important it is to stop and reconnect with nature, every leaf, every twig, every blade of grass, to stop this greed and this rush to achieve, but to really stop. And then, of course, we had our lockdown. So it was, in a way, allowed nature to take a huge sigh of relief, and because everything was quiet.
Isn't that true? Yeah, we just keep on stamping on it, don't we?
Yeah.
And many people are awakening and are reconnecting and are seeing the glorious beauty of this precious life.
Absolutely.
But when you look at the majority, that wants to go back on stamping their feet on the precious ground.
Back to normal.
Yeah. As if that is normal, as if it is more normal to cut down old trees than to hug them.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's amazing. It's like that gorilla knew what was coming.
Yeah.
He had.
And we all do. And that's the thing. The animals are in this divine connection. We too, but we need to learn to listen more. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely. With the elementals and, the nature realms, I'm having amazing visions from trees. Like you're saying, it's so important to connect with trees. People talk about forest bathing and how much emotionally healthier and, well, physically as well, when you've been out breathing in this heightened prana from the trees. The trees have said that they are actually supercharging the prana now. And that's why we benefit so much from spending time with trees.
Yeah.
But, with all nature. And it's vital that we honor this and remember how important it is for all of our futures.
And what do you tell people who want to learn this? So people who say, yeah, I feel that this is true, and I also want to learn to connect with the mouse in my house and to listen to the voice. And what do you say to people? How do you open this up?
It's just about people coming with an open heart and an open mind. It's about trusting that everyone can do this. So my role is I feel, to speak, to be the voice of the animals, to help people understand how we've all come into this life with this wisdom, with this knowledge how to do it. But as we say, in Western commercialization, we've kind of lost that connection. So anybody can do this. It's just about stilling the mind, and just honoring their animal and remembering that there's so much more than a little pet mouse or a guinea pig or a little dog or a cat, and being open to the fact that these are wise masters of wisdom, that they hold so much and they know so much more about us than you could ever have imagined. So I think when you're open to that, open to the possibility that then the animals can find a way of connecting. And it's about having that trust in ourselves that we can do it, and not to dismiss it. Oh, it's just my imagination. Many people, I'm sure yourself with your dog, you know that your dog understands you completely, and not just with a verbal, not command, but a verbal message, like when you're going to feed it or it's a walk time. It's like they can read us so well. They know our energy. They know when we're sad. They generally come and come close when we're sad, and so they can really support us. So already you have this communication, but it's being open. I hope that some of the concepts that I have discussed will broaden the mind and expand that there's so much more going on.
Yeah.
I used to and have been running courses on animal communication, but it's more about soul healing. And I feel in the beginning it was about encouraging people to send a message telepathically to an animal, like, okay, what's your favorite food? Who's your best friend? What color is your toy? And then it was nice because they would get information and they would get it verified by the other person's. Maybe somebody else was the animal's human, and so oh yes, many people said, oh, I feel he loves chicken. He's showing me chicken, or I'm getting the word chicken, or I'm smelling chicken, or tasting chicken. And then the owner would say, or the human companion would say, oh yes, it's his favorite thing. He loves chicken. So then that would kind of encourage people to believe and trust in what they were receiving from the animals. However, I feel that there are many, many people working in that way, and that's fantastic. They do a wonderful job in opening people's minds to that. But I feel my role now is really on soul healing on a much, much deeper level. And so I feel I've gone beyond asking people to ask their dog, what's their favorite food and where do they like to sleep, because it's multidimensional. It's can be really galactic. We can have animals that come from other star systems. I mean, it's gone that far out, really. And
yeah, I would like to know about that. And it's also, I like the idea, because why not extract all out of it that is possible? This pet that comes, or the animal that keeps on showing up. What does it want to say? What does it want to heal? What was it done? What does it want to bring forward of your soul? So. Yeah, let's go all the way with these beautiful creatures.
Absolutely. And what amazed me was not only in other lifetimes can they be our animal, actually they can be human in other lifetimes as well. What the animals have taught me, and this was quite a strange concept, I thought, I'm not sure about this, but I have to trust it, is that what the animals have said is that in each incarnation, we choose which physical vehicle, which physical body best suits our soul's evolutionary needs. So for example, your dog may have been your child in a past life. Sometimes when emotions are so intense, like when your dog dies, okay, we're going to be really, really sad. But sometimes it can be, I've had people that have been almost suicidal when their animal has died. And so I think, okay, there's something deeper going on here. And when I've tuned into the animal in spirit, they've said, well, I was their child and we had this very, very traumatic parting in the past life. And again, when we go back and change the story of that, then obviously the animal has still transitioned, but the intensity of the grief somehow is lessened. And it's because we love so much that we feel so heartbroken when they physically leave us. Of course, they never leave us in spirit. They're always around us. But when you get that deeper understanding of like, oh, well, no wonder this has felt so heartbreaking. When you go back and change the story, then it feels like the grief is more manageable. So again, it's a level understanding these connections. You know, when I think the first time this happened when I was giving a presentation in front of some veterinary students. I had a very good friend who is a very holistic veterinarian, and she asked me to give a presentation to these veterinary students to, again, make them aware of how profound the connections with people and animals are, and that they have to look far deeper than just a physical symptom of an animal to consider what the animal is presenting, and does it compare to a physical issue with their human, or what is the deeper message? So I was working with this lovely horse called Pebbles, and suddenly she showed me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how can I say this? She showed me that she was this amazing Eastern wisdom keeper, this man, like this Oriental man with this long moustache and this very specific hat and robes. And this horse was saying, I am this wisdom keeper, but I've chosen to come as a horse because I wish to teach my human more about this concept. And I'm going, oh my gosh, how can I say this in front of these students? They're going to just think I'm completely crazy, because I had never considered that you know, I'd seen horses as mules before in past lives. I'd seen them maybe as a zebra, but in the same kind of equine family. But I've never been shown this, actually, that we can kind of interchange in what we need to learn, in which physical body is best for us. So I tried to find a way that didn't sound too completely crazy, to say, well, you know, I feel this horse has been here before and holds a lot of wisdom for us, more than perhaps we might have understood before. But as I was being shown this, my friend, the veterinarian, was actually seeing the same vision of what this horse was before in this other lifetime, as this very wise, Oriental looking man. And I was saying to her, and she's saying, I can see what she was in this other lifetime. I went, yeah, I'm really glad you can realize that. So we didn't expand too much on it in front of the students, but afterwards we had this amazing conversation, and I thanked Pebbles so much for showing me this, and I was still completely shocked and a bit blown away, really. But certainly the concept of animals being family members, human family members in past lives, has come many times, really. Dogs have been like in a wolf pack, and also the humans may have been part of that wolf pack as well. But again, in this lifetime, they've chosen one of them to come as a dog and one of them to come as a human. But still there's this kind of frisson of angst that they can't really explain or understand, or this terrible fear that their animal's going to die. More, I mean, obviously we don't like the idea of any of our animals dying, but it's much more intense. It's like almost an obsession of feeling that they cannot continue their life without their animal. If their animal dies, that they really can't continue. And so that's pretty intense. So to find a way to heal that and calm that is just amazing. And thanks to the animals, they give us the tools to do that.
Yeah. And actually, always the situation shows. Yeah. So you just get it presented, and you just need to look. Like, why is this cat always doing this or this? And then just connect and listen within. And you can do a lot by yourself, I think. And when you're really stuck, it is, of course, very helpful to visit someone like you and to see, okay, what is this? It just keeps on going on. And then, oh, there might be something deeper. There might be something way back.
Exactly.
We can rewrite it. Oh, what a relief.
Yeah, you can change it. You know, you can say, oh, you can't change history, but actually you can.
Yeah, because it's just information.
Yeah.
And I would like to, it's really amazing, because I didn't know that, but you have a book that it's translated in Dutch. Mm-hmm. And it's probably talking about all these kind of things, isn't it?
Yeah,
you have it there somewhere.
Yeah, can I show it? I'm so excited. Sure. I don't like to be pushing my products, but I'm so happy that it's in Dutch. I think you can say on it.
Eenheid met het dierenrijk.
So the English title is Unity, the Power of the Animal Kingdom to Guide You Home. And I love
Dieren wijzen ons de weg. Dieren wijzen ons de weg. Wow. And it also, it is really galactic, yeah. The way the illustration is really galactic.
I love the cover. It's so beautiful because, as you can see, there's many, many different species
Yeah,
all there, and the trees are there as well, and the mountains, the whales, and I just love the cover so much.
really
Really
great. Can you say a little
beautiful.
bit about the book? Is it like what we've been discussing in this talk, or is there more to it? I
Yeah,
saw the bear. I'm really curious about the bear.
yeah, well, it's like in two halves. It's like the first half is about personal healing, and the second half is more about planetary healing, because the second half connects with the messages from the wild species.
Yeah. Wow. Great. 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 I'm going to tune in, yeah, because I will sing a heart song, and maybe after that we can chat a little bit more. But I'm
Fabulous.
going to tune in and see what comes from the animals through me, through the
Mm,
song.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
We are happy to dance with you and bring back all we know. We are here to show you back to where you come from and what you want to bring back, bring back. We are together. We bring back home the light, 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 because it is high time to reconnect with our souls and to bring back, bring back, bring back, bring back what is truly yours. Because you are a servant of love. You are higher than what you can dream of. And you are more, much more, way more than you've been told. When you were small, open up the soul and reignite into the light of all. We are together to strengthen the reunion. We move together as one, great big family, together as one, great happy family, together forever. We bring back the light we are, straight into your heart. Something you've never left cannot be lost or taken. Something you've never been is not the real. Listen to the voice within and hear your soul speaking. I am the light that wants to shine, so that all can refine the path of beauty, the path where we meet as we are.
Wow. Oh, was so beautiful. Thank you so much. That just perfectly encapsulates the deepest wish of the animals, for us to really have this interspecies unification, this unity, and remembering that we are all one.
Great, wonderful. Is there a way that people can find you? I will write down your website and the book. Can it be ordered on your website, or is it also for sale in Holland?
It's with a Dutch publisher, so you can find it probably on your Amazon or from the publisher. And I have several books in English, and I have 2 different oracle card sets, and some meditation CDs, and the meditations are gifted to me from the animals. So the shop that is the link isn't working so well, so they can always get anything from me if anyone is interested. So it's just madelinewalker.co.uk.
I will write down the link. Yeah. That's easy, so people can just click on it if they want to find out more. Yeah,
and that would be wonderful. And it's
sometimes you come to the Netherlands, to do courses and to do beautiful things.
Yeah, because I run animal communication and soul healing courses, but also there's another course that I run which is called Gateways to the Ancients, where we work with dragons and whales and dolphins and different spirit animals and cosmic animals. And I love running those courses. It's always amazing what happens within the groups, not from me, but from the beings that come. So there's inner earth beings, outer earth beings, all kinds of amazing things happen. So
really great. Really great. Well, a lot of beauty. Thank you so much, Madeleine, for this interview.
Oh, thank you so much.
Showing us a way to commune with the animals on all these levels.
Yeah, well, it's been a real honor and privilege to be here, and thank you for your fabulous song. It is so moving, and again, the energy you're transmitting from that will also be, as you know, obviously, will be affecting the listeners and really, again, expanding and amplifying the possibility of how we can really learn from our animals and grow with them and be healed by them, and for them to be totally honored by us.
Thank you very much, Madeleine.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.